Hello YouTube peoples that watch this channel. Good morning. It's Old Soldier coming at you from Robeson County, North Carolina on what is looking like is going to turn into be a rainy day. Even though right now the skies are fairly clear, but I was looking on the forecast. There's a front getting ready to roll through here. So it looks like pretty substantial rainfall. So the drainage ditch still ain't even dried up completely yet. And the swamp's still full of drainage ditch to run into. But anyway, we're off to work on this Thursday morning. Yesterday I posted some stuff about red flag laws and what I think about them. We're going to kind of continue on that. It seems like a lot of states around the union are starting to pick up on their ideology of maybe it's a good thing. And my opinion and my viewpoint, no, it's an unconstitutional thing. One, it gives somebody an excuse that doesn't like you to have your firearms taken, potentially even have you locked up, without a, probable cause, a justified probable cause. But the reason I'm bringing this back up is to kind of further explain the erosion of our rights if these red flag laws are continued to be put on the books state by state. At some point in time, the people that are in these state legislatures doing this will eventually, because they're power hungry, greedy SOBs, are going to find themselves trying to get into national politics. And once they get to the national level, they're going to be like the ilk of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and the Kamala Harrises and the Cory Bookers who were going to come take your guns. That dipstick Beto cut right out flat. We're coming to take your AR-15s and AK-47s. Well, pardon my language, folks, but to the ilk of like that, bitch, please. That's another thing. I'm sick and tired of them running their mouths. Gonna do it. Let's go ahead and meet out behind the schoolyard and see who the toughest kid is. But they can't. And they know they can't. Looking at what's going on in Virginia. State police will be the agency used to try and go and seize and confiscate. Why? Because you've got 95% of the state's county sheriffs have already said, no, we're not going to go do it. Matter of fact, we're going to let people keep their guns, whatever kind of guns they got, because they bought them legally. So there's going to be the real challenge there, boys and girls. How is the state of Virginia going to enforce this? They've already stated that they haven't ruled out going door to door. Thought you had to have a warrant to come into my house, probable cause. The only way you know I've got these things is somebody's told you. So who in the community are you getting to rat us out? Sounds like Gestapo style tactics, KGB style tactics, things of nature like that this ilk is known for. But I'm just, I get aggravated when I listen to it, but at the same token, it's like, you know what, they just need to shut up or put up. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Be done with it. No, and I'm not. People don't take this to mean this, that I'm all for a fight. I've seen enough blood and guts and death to last me 10 lifetimes over. Okay? I don't want to see anything like that happen, but at the same token, this movement on the left to come and take our guns, part of me just wishes they would just shut up and do something about it and let's get it on and be done with it, or for them to shut up and get back on track working for the people of this country and not their own ill-gotten gains. And I say that because, like I said, these legislatures in the states, legislators in the state legislatures, many of them are eventually going to seek to go into national politics. And eventually we're going to see them starting to propose broader, more conniving laws at the national level. Now, if they abide by what the Constitution says, in order to change the Constitution, part of that is you've got to get 3/4 of the states to ratify it. I think so much, and there's other processes too. I just can't remember off the top of my head, but part of it had to get the states to ratify it. Now, you may or may not. I'm going to go with the may not get that much support from the states to abolish the Second Amendment. See, that's the thing with the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. It really can't be countermanded by an executive order. Sure, the president can sign an order today banning certain types of weapons, but at the end of the day, it is an executive order that can be overturned with the next president. It can be overturned by a decision from the Supreme Court, or even a lower appellate court. There's so many different ways. But at the end of the day, we need to be cautious about who we're putting up in our state legislatures to represent us as well, folks. And I feel for the people of Virginia, I really do right now, because the so-called majority is really a minority, given the size and the breadth of the state. They're basically just, it's a show of power that we, the likes of Richmond and Petersburg, I forget the other town is a large population center there in Virginia that leans hard left, but they're making a statement that we're in power, and because we're in power, and we've got the majority rule in the state house and the state senate, we're gonna do this because Virginia's been such a safe haven for so many years for the Second Amendment. Now we can control that and show the world, show America that no, you're not, and that we don't want guns and blah about it. It's nothing to do with safety. I've said this before on this channel. The gun grabbers, really, their true intention is not because they want to keep people safe. They want to be able to control the power so they can further swing this nation into a socialist or communist form of a nation. Go to any nation in the world that's been controlled by communism, fascism, dictatorship, to me they're all in one boat. And what you'll find out is that once you disarm the population, you can control them through fear. That's how come South Vietnam lost. Corrupt government and a campaign of fear through the smaller hamlets and towns and provinces. Initially, during the Korean War, the same thing happened as the North Koreans swept through South Korea. Teachers, legislators, judges, priests, anybody with any inkling of an education or of an educated mind, rounded up and summarily executed for no other reason than that they posed a threat to those that wish to usurp power from a democratically elected government. That is the ilk of what's going on with these red flag laws. It's just a first step of many of the dictatorial process. The current governor of Virginia is somebody's puppet. Some of you would say George Soros, the other Michael Bloomberg. It doesn't really matter at this point in time who's pulling his strings, other than they have emboldened him enough to push his legislature to go through with this. Even though the majority of the people have come out and spoke against it, the majority of the counties within his state have come out and said, no, we shall not comply. And yet, the legislature there continues to flex its power by passing unconstitutional legislation one bill at a time. Why am I bringing this to you today, ladies and gentlemen, is this. It's happening in Virginia. There are movements all across the nation today, in every state, people being embedded in the legislature. Some start off as interns or aides to these elected officials. They plant seeds and ideas. You're thinking, oh Lord, old soldier, you are off your rocker. You have gone bat crap crazy. Maybe I have. Maybe I just have. But I will say this. Wake up. There are things going on and powers at play that none of us fully understand. And everybody's jockeying for position. Right now there's a great national wave behind the current commander-in-chief, and that's great. I think Donald Trump has done a great job as president for the most part. But his views on the Second Amendment, not so much. He hasn't come out right and stated that, he hasn't really come out right and stated, yep, Second Amendment, this, that, and the other. He hasn't come out and said, no, we're going to take them away either, but he's just been wishy-washy on his support of the Second Amendment. I think what he's doing for the economy is great. I think the impeachment was a sham. All because a whole bunch of people didn't like him because he took away their milk and cookies. Basically what it amounted to. But there are people in the so-called conservative party, which says it's Republican, but trust you, my friends, the Republican Party is filled full of corruption and criminals too. And there are those within that party that would wish to curtail the Second Amendment. Okay? You don't believe me? There's a senator from Utah that says he's a Republican, but he's just in name only. There's some other names I'd like to call him, but I'm trying to keep my channel clean. I've already slipped up twice today, didn't mean to, but I'm aggravated right now for what's going on. So, before you cast a vote in any election, whether it's for city council, county commission, state representative, state senator, U.S. rep, U.S. senator, find out where they stand on the Second and Fourth Amendment. And you're saying, well, what about all the other ones, old soldier? Well, if you restrict the Second, you can infringe the First, and with red flag laws, it's already a direct violation of the Fourth. So now you've instilled a mindset of fear into the people. Now you're saying, what do you mean? It's real simple. If red flag laws are passed, it's only a matter of time that they adjust those laws for them to come in and search and seize anything from your home that they so wish to do based on a phone call from somebody that looks at you as a threat for no other reason than they don't know you. Or you looked at them cross-eyed one day pulling out of your driveway. Or you threw a rock at their dog because their dog was in your yard taking a dump. To eventually, the secret police, because that's what's going to come, gets a phone call that, hey, old soldier, he's on that video, YouTube chat channel, whatever you call it, putting out stuff against the current government. It's people are listening to him. We need to come up. Oh, you know what? He claims to be a 100% disabled veteran. I think he might have some PTSD issues. Let's go get him. That's all it takes. Call Mrs. Jones, who lives across the street from him. Tell her to call this in to the sheriff's department. That she has seen him outside yelling at the moon or something, or screaming, about being in the war or something. That'll be our grounds to go in, and then we'll collect all of his electronic devices, and we'll collect all those up, and we'll silence them. That is what's coming if we don't stand our ground. I don't know what kind of reaction I'm going to get on this video today. I don't really care at this point in time anymore. If you like what I'm putting out, great, wonderful. Hit the like and share button. If you don't, you choose not to watch the video. You can give me a thumbs down. You can choose to unsubscribe and unfollow. I don't care. I'm not doing this to get rich. I'm not doing this to be Mr. Popular. I'm just doing this to share an opinion, one I think is the right one, and one that I feel adamant about, which is the love of this country. That being said, boys and girls and boys of all ages, I've got to go in here and get ready for work. Again, all the charities and vendors that I'd ask you to support and help are all listed in the description down below. If you want to get one of my t-shirts, sweatshirts, they're still available. All the links are down below in the description. Check them out. Help them out if you can. I'd appreciate it. They would certainly appreciate it. And until tomorrow, when we get back on a fun topic, I'm in a better mood. God bless. Take care. Soul, so dry.